Huichol bead art is a hobby that I've developed a real passion for over the past couple of years, although I've been exposed to it for most of my life. My father's Mexican, and my parents from time to time would collect items of Huichol art, either Huichol yarn art or Huichol bead art. The method used for creating the commercial Huichol art is taking a mixture of beeswax and pine pitch and pressing it onto a surface, and then using that sticky medium to press yarn or beads, tiny glass beads, onto the board or the form, and creating patterns in color. For some reason, I feel very connected to this Huichol form of art, partly because its origins are to create prayer bowls and using imagery pressed into gourds or bowls or onto mats that are meant to be to draw the gods down to hear our prayer. Also, when I was a little bit younger, my father received a visit from Chintito, who is a pretty well-known Huichol shaman. This is Chintito. And I had the opportunity to meet with him here in California and be blessed by Chintito, the shaman. And then years and years later, long after that experience and much life had passed, I somehow independently came upon Huichol bead art as a hobby that I'm interested in. I thought it would be fun to show you how this art is made. Maybe it's something you'd like to try yourself, but it's a lot of fun. I find it meditative, and it's like painting with beads. A lot of times I make smaller items because they're quicker to produce, and it's kind of satisfying to finish a project within a day or two, and have something to show for it. So I do a lot of smaller animals and Dia de los Muertos skulls and things, but lately I have embarked on a more ambitious project, which is a moon and what will be a sun over here. I have to fill all this space with tiny little beads, but I love it. It's just, it's something I can do while I listen to audiobooks. Relax. So what's needed for this kind of art is some kind of surface, a form or a board or something like this, a shell even, or a gourd, and a mixture of beeswax and pine pitch. I make my own by melting beeswax and pine pitch, and if I can find some pine pitch in it from a natural source, that's even better. It just makes it more fun for me. I like working with natural products that I can find, and a little bit of oil like paraffin or something like that, just to make it a tiny bit slippery. I use size 11 glass beads. Sometimes I use an awl like this, but I prefer to use a porcupine quill as a tool. Now I'll just give a quick little demonstration of how a project like one of these would start on an empty form like this. Since I wake up in the mornings just itching to create this Huichol bead art, I love doing it. It's so much fun for me that I've developed kind of a large collection of items that I've created, and I have nothing to do with them. The joy for me is in the creating and not in the keeping. So I've decided to sell my art as a means of supporting my studies and my travels into the ancient Southwest. So my passion is studying the hunter-gatherers of the ancient Southwest, and this passion involves a lot of travel, a lot of specialty higher education, anthropological education, and the purchasing of specialty reading materials, and it's a never-ending quest for knowledge. You can link to my Etsy shop and see my latest creations. I thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you have happy travels.